One of the things that I love about WYLDE is that they keep on innovating. They utilize operators which are out of meta, we don't see very often, and they show their potential. And they perform attacking takes or defensive holds that you've just never seen before in 8 years of Siege. And in their first round of Stage 2 against Koi in the European League, they show just that. They innovate an attacking strategy which is, when you break it down, it's so simple, and you think, why has no one thought of this before? So, let's get into it. WYLDE are attacking onto the basement bomb site of Wine and Snowmobile on Chalet against Koi. They bring an attacking lineup of Capitao, Ace, Thatcher, Gridlock, and Maverick. And despite losing the opening death on the Maverick, WYLDE are still able to perform their take. Teb on Ace in Car Garage is able to open up the long wall to cut the bomb site in half. It's an extremely powerful angle for the attackers to have. All they need is a hole in the boiler wall, and Packbull starts getting the bomb down on the door. How is he allowed to get the bomb down on the door, you say? Well, when the camera swings around, we see it. They firebolt off the blue door. This means that one of the ways as a defender to deny this plant on the wine door is eliminated, because a defender is going to be deterred from peeking the blue door because they don't want to take damage to the fire. Packbull on Capital also smokes off the dining hatch because this is a minimalistic take from WYLDE. They don't want to or care about taking dining control to deny the defenders having access to the hatch, because they smoke off the hatch so the defender in dining doesn't know if WYLDE are pushing through the boiler breach and going deep or planting underneath. It just creates chaos. And then there's even more chaos created because there's Gridlock track stingers being deployed to cover the sound of the plant, as they're very loud.
Here they're going to go for the plant, and well, we'll see if this can be the positive. Just tucked on the side of the door with all the cover of the noise, Teb is able to find one.
Speed and efficiency is the name of the game here for WYLDE on this attack. And you'll notice that WYLDE actually performed this execute in a 4v5. Jegs got spawn peaked on the Maverick. If we look at what Jegs' job was in this execute, Jegs would have opened up the snowmobile wall with Maverick for pure efficiency, because Maverick doesn't care if there's any wall denial on the snowmobile breach. He can just go to the snowmobile breach alone, open it up with Maverick, and it means that no rotating needs to happen for WYLDE. They don't need Thatcher to start at the snowmobile breach as a 1-speed, then rotate to trench, open up the long angle and boiler wall with his EMPs if there's any wall denial. This take just allows WYLDE to be fast and efficient because of the operators that they bring. And Jegs would have held the cross, added pressure by opening the snowmobile wall and sitting there during this execute. And there's one last thing that makes this attack possible, and it's the Azami ban. WYLDE banned away Azami. And why do I say that WYLDE can't do this attack if Azami is open? Well, what is Azami used for on the wine cellar bomb site by every team? She is used to block the long angles that the attackers open up. Most notably, the long angle from Car Garage. If Azami was open, when Teb opens up this long angle wall, it gets Azami'd off. Suddenly, he cannot hold the retake of the pillar from connector. And what's the second way that a defender can deny the plant on the doorway? It's the pillar position. If a defender retakes the pillar, suddenly they can deny the plant for free. So ultimately, WYLDE have everything they need to go for this execute. They've got aces on the boiler wall holding the connector into pillar retake, with Teb crossfiring that through the long angle from Car Garage, Hungry controlling the west main flank with the Gridlock track stingers, and Packbull getting the bomb down. And look at the time and efficiency that they have on this execute. They're executing 50 seconds into the round. That's lightning quick. And given that Koi do make it kind of easy for them, I don't know respectfully what the fuck they're doing, playing no one pillar, not reinforcing off boiler wall wholly and having feet holes in it. They've got feet holes in the long angle to impact trick, but they don't bring in the impacts to impact trick. This execute from WYLDE is so clean, but it's made so clean and efficient because Koi don't contest anything. They make life so easy for WYLDE. WYLDE didn't need to solve any problems. They didn't need to clear a pillar shield. They didn't need to clear a player out of pillar. They didn't need to worry about impact tricking and things slowing them down. Koi just didn't contest anything. So the efficiency of this take is tremendous from Wild, but it's made so much easier because their opponents just don't contest anything and didn't make it hard at all. Wild got everything that they wanted for free. They then could set up how they wanted for free, and they execute how they wanted for free. It looks so simple, and Wild did make it look really simple, but it's the intricacies that make these takes from Wild so fantastically thought out. And then just 2 rounds later in the same game against Koi, Wild pull off another fantastic execute. And it's so simple yet again. Look at the control that Wild know they need to have to facilitate their minimalistic execute. First step, they need to clear suicide. How they do it? Bring a Capital, force the Jaeger down. There's no Wamai on the side of Koi, so they can't stop the firebots from displacing the player in suicide. So, check 1, suicide control. After clearing suicide, it means that Wild can jump in games window for free because they know that there's not a player on the hatch holding them. Second checklist, stock control. How do they clear stock? They maverick the stock wall from basement, and as soon as they clear stock, the whole of Wild clicks into action. Packball and Hungry double walk up snowmobile stairs, push into bar. Packball gets the 2 entry kills on site, and the rest of Wild collapse at the same time. Aces pushes through short into long to collapse on bar door at the same time. Jegs jumps in games window, so they collapse site. Wild are so clever knowing which pieces of map control they need to displace a defender from playing, and then once they complete that checklist, then they frag out. And they have the players to frag out in those executes, those fast, rapid executes. I think a lot of teams just see Wild as this fast-paced, erratic team, but I don't. I think they are an execute genius team, and how you play against Wild is you do not let them execute. They're like VP. When you come up against VP, Virtus Pro, in a Pro League game, you do not let them execute because they are so good at executing. They're so well regimented. They've got their processes down. And Wild are the same. You don't let Wild execute because look at the executes that they can have. Apologies for the long time of no uploads. I've really been working with Into the Breach, grinding out this season. I've just had no time for videos. But now our season's over. I'm going to be uploading a lot more from the season and moving into the Atlanta Major. Going to really be making content around that. So subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.